So there was a mob that said they wanted to kill Vice President Pence, wanted to kill the speaker, wanted to overturn the election. We need to find out everything about how that happened.
Yes, we do. That was Representative Zoe Lofgren. And she went on to say this, which is important.
We want to find out everything there is to know about the coordination between the White House and these individuals whose names were up front in organizing the rally, what the intentions were, where did the money come from, how was it organized, how was that mob unleashed on the U.S. Capitol to overturn the election.
She's talking about 11 different people who are affiliated with Women for America First, they held the permit, and Amy Kremer, she's one of the top people in that organization. And Representative Lofgren went on to say this.
The president, the former president, is a very litigious person. We all know that. He likes to sue people a lot. He usually loses. He's not the president. He doesn't have executive privilege because he's not the president. And so, we're prepared for whatever litigation, but I think some of this is frivolous. These individuals were not employees of, they were not White House counsel. And even then, we got the White House counsel, a court ordered him to testify before the House Judiciary Committee. So I don't think the former president is on firm ground.
He is not. No. And then finally, she went on to say this.
Well, what I take from the Biden administration is they don't intend to stonewall the Congress or the Select Committee on this. Having said that, it is appropriate to take every assertion and evaluate it and on the facts and the law and reach a conclusion. But very clearly, they're not intending to participate in a cover-up of this, which is apparently what the former president is seeking to do. I think he does not look like an innocent man when he tries to prevent the truth from coming out.
Yeah, most people, when you're trying to prevent the truth, are hiding something.
Yeah, exactly.
The note of these. It's very interesting, these subpoenas that people have kind of overlooked, is one of them is a woman by the name of Maggie Mulvaney. She happens to be Mick Mulvaney's niece, and she's a congressional staffer.
Oh, wow. I didn't.
So this would be the first time a congressional staffer has been called in, linking them to this whole scheme, insurrection, plan. Right.
They're gonna. I mean, this is a very important step because, like she said, the people that they're subpoenaing are not. Wouldn't even remotely be covered under executive privilege, and even the people that could have been covered under it, like she said, Biden is the one that can say yay or nay to that, and it looks he's turning over documents already. As long as it's not classified information, no problem.
Right.
I mean, no problem. He can make it public if he wants to. The Guardian reported that Trump's trying to resist it or likely constitutional clashes in court that would test the power of Congress's oversight. As much as I don't like this makeup of the Supreme Court, I don't think they would subvert congressional power in this, because then the next president that they don't agree with would be able to subvert that power too.
Well, the powers are pretty clearly delineated in the Constitution.
Yes.
So yeah, they wouldn't.
I don't think so. I mean,
they wouldn't.
I hope you're. I'm with you, but this makeup is frightening.
That would cause an impeachment.
Yes.
Movement for the Supreme Court, which is rare, but it can be done.
It can be done. Have we ever impeached a Supreme Court justice?
I don't know.
You have the Googles.
I have the Googles right here.
You have the Googles. They're also hoping in this committee that the panel will pursue questions about the role of the weaponization of social media and the spread of. I know this is the right word, and I don't know if the word I'm about to say is an actual word, but disinformation sounds like it's a mistake to me, versus malinformation is on purpose. It's malice. It's disinformation. Sounds like, oh, I made a mistake. You know, I mean,
it's parsing words where they don't need to be parsing words. Call it what it is, lies.
Yes, there you go. They're not sure if Kash Patel will. He hasn't said whether or not he's going to abide by the subpoena, but he did say, I will continue to tell the truth about my time in service, because I don't think he's covered under executive privilege. We'll see what happens with these. I mean, my view is that I know that Adam Schiff and others are saying, look, we'll use inherent contempt at this point, and Ted Lieu wasn't sure that they would use it, and he's not sure that the DOJ would honor a criminal contempt of Congress. But the way that Adam Schiff and others on the committee are talking, it sounds like they have spoken with Merrick Garland about this. And like, if these people defy these subpoenas in the next couple of weeks, will you issue arrest warrants? And I don't think that they would be that positive about doing that if they didn't think the DOJ had their back. That just seems politically stupid to kind of say that they think it's going to happen if they don't have the backing of the DOJ. What do you think?
I might be wrong on this name, but somebody pointed out that during the Clinton impeachment, Ken Starr actually did issue subpoenas, and people who defied it, I think it was Karen McDougal who defied Ken Starr subpoena. He had her thrown in jail.
And that's
so we can do this.
Well, and that was with Bill Clinton's DOJ.
Yes.
You know, it's not like, you know.
So there.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm hoping that he does that, because it's super, super, super. And thanks for asking.
Okay.
Yes, Chris Lavoie.
Supreme Court justices can be impeached.
Yes, I know that.
Only one has ever been impeached. It was Samuel Chase. His nickname was Old Bacon Face. But he was not removed from the bench.
He was impeached, but the Senate did not remove him.
Right, and that was back in 1805.
That was it's been a long time since we've tried that.
Thomas Jefferson wanted to get rid of the Federalists on the Supreme Court, so that's what...
Oh, so that's what that was about. It wasn't necessarily about him doing anything wrong other than his bacon face?
They trumped up some charges.
They trumped up some charges.
Yeah. Yep.
I see.
So there you go.
I see.
Old bacon face.
I see. So we had some kerfuffles.
Where? When? Why?
In the
How?
House during the Afghanistan hearings. Adam Smith, it's 2 through 5.
Okay.
Thank you for getting that audio, Travis. Man, this is hardcore.
He went scorched earth.
He really was, because basically what the GOP is trying to do is blame Joe Biden for everything that went wrong ever in the everness of ever in Afghanistan. And specifically on a conversation about whether or not he was informed about the 2,500 troops, blah, 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 blah. So Adam Smith, number 2.
The George Stephanopoulos interview before this hearing with Joe Biden did not say that no one suggested that we should keep 2,500 troops there.
I read the quote.
I have the time.
It was my quote.
Moment. I have the time.
Well,
and what he said was, you cannot have 2,500 troops stay there in a stable situation.
Boom.
So we should at least be accurate about what information was provided. I would urge everyone to go back and actually look at the words and not take what is being said here as accurate.
And Representative Smith went on to say this.
Chairman, I read the quote.
I read it too, and I read it with a clear, open vision of what he was saying, not with a bent to try and make sure that we could successfully have a partisan attack on him. He was asked, could they stay there in a stable environment? That is the option. He said it wasn't on the table, not because it wasn't offered, but because it didn't exist. And while we're ripping apart these 3 gentlemen here, I want to remind everybody that the decision the president made was to stop fighting a war that after 20 years it was proven we could not win.
Bam.
Yep.
And one more.
There was no easy way to do that.
Mr. Chairman, I believe that General Bacon was clear.
He had just
to be defended.
I will be happy to yield Mr. Rogers' time when I am done. What he made clear was we needed to stop fighting a war that for 20 years we've had these conversations over and over again. Democrats bash on the Republican president more than they bash on the Democratic presidents. Republicans bash on the Democratic presidents more than they bash on the Republican presidents.
That's very, very true. Yeah. And finally, he said this.
We can look
This
at
is the
20
windup right here.
years. Pick your favorite general. Pick your favorite president. Pick your favorite leader. Okay? None of them could successfully do what so many members of this committee are sitting here telling these gentlemen that they're basically idiots for not being able to do. We should pause for just a moment and think about the fact that maybe that's the wrong argument. Maybe the mission itself was really hard to achieve.
Yeah.
And what President Biden said is, we're done. We're not going to have these hearings anymore. We're not going to have the funerals anymore. We're not going to lose the service members fighting a war that it is clear we cannot be successful. And we all pick nits on this decision or that decision. Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you do that? 20 years of a whole lot of different people leading has led us to this point. And we said we're going to stop.
Wow.
Bam! They're around here somewhere,
That was a
but
truth bomb.
that was a truth bomb. No idea. Make it. There it goes. Kablooey. There it is. Oh, it's number 1.
Yeah.
Doy. There we go. That's an. Ooh.
It's number 1 because she used to blow up callers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No, I understand.
Uh-huh.
Now that makes sense to me.
Uh-huh,
That
yeah.
totally makes sense to me.
I know the history of the show.
Yeah, you've been around for
there.
ever.
Yes.
You've been around forever.
I've been around forever. I know the history of the show. She used to blow up callers, and that's why the explosion is number 1.
So this is her original box, or she just,
No, that's not the original box, but she always knew that the explosion was in the top left.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So we just made it as comfortable as possible for her when we got her a new box.
So, okay, this is interesting. Regarding, back to January 6th, Trump's Department of Homeland Security told the Pentagon that there were no major incidents as insurrectionists were charging up the steps. That seems weird. At 1:30 p.m. on January 6th, whilst things were going awry, an email from DHS National Operations Center read, "There are no major incidents of illegal activity at this time."
Yeah.
Were they not watching the TV?
Right.
And then 4 minutes earlier, Capitol Police had ordered the evacuation of the Capitol complex. So if nothing untoward was happening, I don't think the Capitol Police would have ordered that 4 minutes before that. And 37 minutes before the email, protesters had breached the Capitol building's outer perimeter. 32 minutes prior to the email, U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund reached out to the D.C. Metro Police asking for help. So at 1:05 p.m., according to the Washington Post, Homeland Security's National Center is run by the Office of Operations Coordination, which is headed by Rear Admiral Christopher Thom.
Okay.
Tomney.
Thomney?
Who 6 months prior had been accused by one Democratic U.S. congressman of being, as the Nevada Independent put it, focused on Antifa to the exclusion of far more violent actors, including domestic terrorists. So he didn't see anybody dressed as Antifa, so nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
It seems very frightening. I'm glad it's come out. I assume they're going to call him up to the committee and have a chat.
Sure they are.
Because that seems wrong.
Yep. Yeah. And also that that gold medalist swimmer was pleaded guilty yesterday.
Right.
For breaking and entering into the Capitol.
Well, and then this Capitol rioter who pled guilty to a misdemeanor, even though she literally said on her way out on video that she wanted to shoot Nancy Pelosi in her friggin' brain.
Yep.
She initially pleaded not guilty to illegally demonstrating inside the Capitol, but changed her plea to guilty. Now, the judge accepted the guilty plea, but did ask the prosecutors why she was not charged with threatening a government official, which is a felony, as it should be.
Yes.
Prosecutors said the DOJ declined to do so because she made the comments as she was leaving the building. It doesn't mean she wouldn't do it if given the opportunity.
Right.
Or attempt to do it.
Exactly.
I mean, just because she was leaving doesn't mean that's not something she would like to do given... Like, had Nancy Pelosi been outside as she left the building, I mean... She was also with a woman named Diana Santos Smith, and they were both in MAGA gear. Bancroft, who was filming, she said, "We broke into the Capitol, we got inside, we did our part, we're looking for Nancy to shoot her in the friggin' brain, but we didn't find her." Santos Smith has also pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. And both of them, by the way, are free on ROR. For those of you that don't have a Law and Order law degree.
What's R&R?
ROR.
Oh, what's
released on her own recognizance.
Okay. Released for rest and relaxation? That doesn't seem
rest
right.
or relaxation. You know, you pick one. I don't even know what to do with that. Oh my goodness, it's 49 minutes.
I mean, do we even need to do a commercial for the Steph store? I mean, the shirts are flying off the right. Look at this. Look at it. Get your face
Look at that.
Get your face up there. Look. We have them for Team Pfizer, Team J&J. We are all Team Vaccine here. We have amazing.
That's right.
And you can get it on everything. Right, Chris? Not just shirts.
Bath mats, shower curtains. You can get it on art, a clock. You can get
Duvet.
a selfie bomb on a clock.
We have Stephanie Miller swag. We have Sexy Liberal swag. And, of course, all the vaccine shirts. Get it now. StephanieMiller.com. Whee!